words to express the simple word thank you.
Don't worry, you wait.
I'd like to thank the shepherd of the church, the elders and the altar members of the pastoral committee. I appreciate so much. I remain eternally grateful. I can't even find words to express my gratitude. I feel humbled and honored. I'm shocked that my children didn't even mention it to me because I'm sure they are aware. And I have some who are close to me and nobody even said a word. God bless you. Amen. God bless each and every one of you beyond measure. Amen. The way you have embarrassed me today with all this, may God also embarrass you with blessings from heaven above. Amen. God knows I have prayed from my heart and He knows He grants my request for you. Amen. I just want to say a few things. I turned 65 this year. It's a miracle. From birth, I had always said, this girl will not last long. I was born into children and Sarah. I just want to say my history into Celestial to encourage somebody. When I was doing my HSC in Benin, I had a friend very close to me. We wore the same clothes. She actually slept in my house. We had a 3-bedroom flat. My senior sister was the supervisor of the bank, and I lived with her. So I had a room to myself, and we had a spare room for guests. So she was always coming to spend time. We were students together. One day, in the afternoon, during break, she bought Coke for me. I opened the Coke to drink. I heard, Uzo, don't drink. Uzo is my native name. I turned around. I didn't see anybody. So I sipped the Coke. And I found that it tasted funny. So I called her, I said, Pat, this Coke doesn't taste well. I said, you too, baby. I better drink it. I said, no, I won't drink it. I drank part of it. So I called it in. In the afternoon, we used to go together. I looked for her to accompany me home. I didn't see her. So I went alone. I boarded a taxi. The taxi stopped to Mission Road. Somebody was to alert, and the person was at the center. I had to come down for that person to come out of the taxi. So I came down. And I came down in front of Celestial Church of Christ. I looked at the place, I looked at their garment. It was evening. Somebody was blowing tulare in front. Beautiful setting. I said, my garment is not as clean as these ones. You know, cherubim and seraphim. I thought it was cherubim. That was Wednesday evening. So I saw a man blowing tulare in front of the church. He looked at me and smiled. I looked at him too and I smiled. I took note of the church. In my mind, I said, Sunday, I'll go and worship in this cherubim branch. I lived at West Secular Road, 30 Secular Road. So later we left. When I got to I told my sister I was going to worship somewhere on Sunday. She said, we have children at the back of the house here. Why would you go so far? I said, my spirit just said I should go there. So I entered the church. I wore mufti because my sultana, I didn't know it. I didn't think it was as clean as the ones I saw. So when I entered the church, somebody came to me and said, please, you have not had your bath. I said, are you talking to me? He said, yes. You haven't had your bath. I said, what do you mean? I didn't have my bath before I came here. He said, no. Who directed you? I said, must anybody direct me to come here? It's not a branch of cherubim. He said, no. This is Celestial Church of Christ. I said, yes, like cherubim, we have movement. We have other names. He said, no, this is Celestial. I said, my dear, I won't go out. I've come to worship. I ignored him. And I was singing along because he gave us symbol. While that man was talking to me, somebody, one other Celestial, I've forgotten my name, was giving a message and said, please ask that woman arguing that she passed here on Wednesday. Somebody was blowing tulare in front of the church. She waved to that man. Ask her to look around if she will find that man. I looked around. Actually, I didn't see the man. She said, Christ came to wait for you. You were poisoned with a bottle of Coke that Wednesday. and you had only 2 weeks more to live. I went outside to have my bath. I said, okay, sanctify water for me, because they told me the truth. Actually, I drank Coke. I didn't know the Coke was poisoned. It tasted funny. It was given to me by my closest friend. And they said I had 2 weeks more to live. That the man I saw blowing to that was Christ, and I waited because he wanted to save my life. So when I got home, I told my sister, I said, didn't they say 2 weeks that you have? He said, hey, let's wait now. 2 weeks. They said, look, if you are sick, don't go to the hospital. Something will crawl inside your body. After 2 weeks, so I forgot it. I got up. I think I wanted to have it back, I fell. Something was crawling inside my body. It would come to my chest, come to my back, so I screamed. My sister took me into her car. She was going to the hospital. When I told her, remember the message. They said I should not go to the hospital. Please take me to that church. She said, where is the church now? I said, it's along Mission Road. I will know the place. So she drove towards Mission Road. We saw the church. We came out. They looked at me. And they said, somebody recognized me. Go and call the shepherd. At that time, we didn't have full-time shepherds. We had part-time shepherds. My shepherd was a staff of Waterboard. So they rushed to the office and they told him, that lady, they had known this, they knew everything that was going to happen. So when I came, he gave me green water. There was nothing I did not vomit. I vomited bottles, I vomited pins, I vomited needles. But do you know that I never saw that friend of mine again? She disappeared completely from Benin. After 2 weeks, I recovered the bit. I spent 3 months in the church. After I had gotten married and had children, I was working in NTA then. A colleague of mine said, MJ, somebody gave me a letter to you. I said, I said, okay, after the news. When I was done with the news, I collected the letter, I opened it. It was this same girl that poisoned me years ago. She sent an apology letter. She said God had told her if she didn't apologize to me, she will never in her life be a happy person. She was married, she was kicked out of her marriage, first time. Second time she was kicked out. Third time she was kicked out without a child. So after she apologized to me, she wrote me a letter. I still have the letter. I didn't know what to say to the person who brought the letter. I told her, when you see her, tell her it's all over. She said, is that your reply? She didn't even tell the woman what happened. I said, yes, tell her it is all over. Then she now said, I should ask if you are still bitter. I said, no, I'm not bitter anymore. So I just want us to know that this church is not ordinary. That Christ waited for me outside. He knew I was a member of Cherubim and Seraphim. He knew I was born into that place. But he knew that I was going to receive salvation in the church. So I just want to build up your faith. I don't want you to assume that this thing happened years ago, it cannot happen again. No. So many things like that have happened, even in recent times. Hold on to God. Trust your God. And worship him with zeal and commitment. You have come to worship. Face your worship. Do not be distracted by any other thing. Don't let anybody tell you, Celestial Church of Christ. No. I have told you my history. You have just said a bit of this. Christ lives here. Christ lives with us. Celestial Church was founded by Christ himself. Trust me. If it were not so, I will tell you I have nothing to hide. So I just want you, when in your moments of silence, tell God, thank you for what he has done in my life. It's a miracle that I'm still alive. Miracle to my family that I'm still alive. Miracle to me that I'm still alive and healthy. So any moment you have, any single moment you want to pray, tell God, I say, thank you for what he has done for me and for all Celestians. For those who have said I did something for them, if I hadn't done it, God would raise somebody who would do it better.
I love you.
God will do it. Raise somebody who will do it better. I have done nothing. God just chose me as an instrument. If I had said no, He will raise thousands to do it better than I would have done. So let us not assume that we're indispensable. In the house of God, nobody is indispensable. Let us worship in love and unity. For this love you have shown to me that has made me speechless, God will embarrass you with so many blessings. Amen. I pray that the girdle of love and unity God has in heaven above, we will use it to bind all of us together as a family. Amen. Thank you so much.